Are you a deep thinker? Are you someone that enjoys staring out the window on a rainy day? Or are you constantly forlorn or in existential angst? You might be a deep thinker, or at least someone that enjoys philosophy. And today I'm going to give you the 5 levels of philosophy thinking. As simply as it can be put, we all know that philosophy is the act of thinking about things, or thinking about things. Yet there's a difference in the degree of depth that we can think about things. If questions like, am I a good person, are at the top and like level 1, stick to the end because you're not going to believe what's at level 5. Let's dive in. Level 1, everyday philosophy. The theme of this level is common sense life questions that everyone at one point or another asks themselves, but maybe we don't quite label it as philosophy. These include questions such as, what makes me happy, or what am I happy doing? How can I be a good person? Why do bad things happen to good people? Or what do I want to do with my life? Thinkers and ideas or schools of thought that kind of fall into this category would include Stoicism. Stoicism is the philosophy that teaches the importance of living in harmony and with virtue. It stresses to accept things that we can't control. It emphasizes self-discipline as a path to inner peace. Other thoughts include existentialism. Kierkegaard would be an example of this. Kierkegaard's existentialism focuses on the individual's personal relationship with God and the necessity of making authentic choices in the face of uncertainty. Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics would be another example of level 1 thinking. Aristotle argued that the ultimate goal of human life is happiness. Achieving happiness is something that's done by living virtuously and exercising reason. He taught that virtue is a balance between extremes, and that true fulfillment comes from moral character, wisdom, and meaningful relationships. Jumping down to level 2, we have what I call Philosophy 101. What is right and what is true? The theme for level 2 could be an introductory academic philosophy. This is the kind of philosophy that you would think and learn about in, like if you happen to take a gen ed in Philosophy 101, ethics, logic, or epistemology. Some of the questions that we might find in level 2 are questions like, how do we know what's true? How do we know what's false? Is morality objective or is morality subjective? Can we trust our senses? What's more important, happiness or duty? Some thinkers and schools of thought that might fall into level 2 would be Plato's allegory of the cave. Plato's allegory of the cave illustrates how most people live in ignorance, perceiving only shadows of reality rather than reality itself. It teaches that enlightenment comes through philosophical reasoning, which allows us to break our bonds of the shadow world and beyond illusions and understand the true nature of existence and see how things really are. Kant's moral philosophy would be another example of a level 2 idea. Kant's moral philosophy centers on the idea that moral actions are determined by duty and guided by reason, not just by consequences or emotions alone. He argued that one should act only in according to principles that could be universal laws. He called this his categorical imperative. So in other words, if it's something that could apply to everyone everywhere at all time, then it's a moral thing to do or not to do. Utilitarianism would be another example of a level 2 idea. Utilitarianism is the ethical theory that actions are right if they promote the greatest happiness of the greatest number of people. Essentially, it's whatever the greatest good for the greatest number of people is, that's the thing that you should do in any ethical situation. Descartes' I think, therefore I am would be a level 2 discussion. Descartes' statement, I think, therefore I am, asserts that the very act of thinking proves that our existence is a rational one. It serves as the foundation of certainty in his philosophy, establishing the mind, the human mind, as the basis for all knowledge. Level 3, the paradox zone. Here, philosophy starts to challenge our intuition or the assumptions maybe that we have about the world or the universe. Here we find paradoxes, we find skepticism, and we find the limits of what reason can reasonably accomplish. Examples of questions that we might find in level 3 include, what if everything is an illusion? Do we have free will, or are we just reacting to causes? Or are we just a determined web of events? Can logic prove itself? What if moral truths contradict one another? Thinkers, ideas, and schools of thought that might fall into level 3 include Zeno's paradoxes. Zeno's paradoxes challenge the reality of motion and change by showing that they can lead to logical contradictions when analyzed mathematically. His arguments, like Achilles and the tortoise, illustrate how dividing space and time infinitely make motion seem impossible. Another thinker and idea that would fall into level 3 is David Hume's skepticism. David Hume's skepticism questioned the certainty of human knowledge, arguing that our beliefs about cause and effect, the self, and the external world are based on habit rather than reason. He maintained that while we rely on experience to form ideas, we can never achieve absolute certainty about reality. Hume called this the problem of induction. Nietzsche would be another thinker that we would find in level 3. Nietzsche argued that reality is not an objective truth, but a construct shaped by our own perspectives, our own interpretations, and our own drives. He believed that our perceptions and values create meaning, challenging the idea of absolute or universal truths. The brain in a vat would be another thought experiment that we would find in level 3. The brain in a vat thought experiment questions whether we can truly know if our perceptions of reality are genuine or artificially simulated. It suggests that, like a brain connected to a computer generating false experiences, our senses might deceive us, making certainty about the external world practically impossible. Level 4. The existential abyss. The theme for level 4 would be deep, personal, and ontological questions. These are questions about the self, about meaning and existence, in wrestling with absurdity. Example questions that we might find in level 4: is there meaning without God? What does it mean to be authentic? Am I more than my thoughts and memories? What happens when reason fails? Some thinkers and ideas that we might find in level 4 are thinkers like Sartre and his being and nothingness. In Being and Nothingness, Sartre argues that human existence precedes essence, meaning that people are born before they have any sort of reason or purpose for that being born. People define themselves through their choices and actions rather than any predetermined nature. In other words, we're not born with a purpose, we're not born with a meaning or any such thing, but rather we make those ourselves through our actions and choices. He emphasized radical freedom and responsibility, asserting that individuals must create their own meaning in a world with no inherent purpose. Camus, in The Myth of Sisyphus, explores the absurdity of life, arguing that humans seek meaning in a meaningless universe. He concludes that one must embrace this absurd condition with defiance and live fully, imagining Sisyphus as happy despite his eternal struggle. Heidegger would be another thinker that we'd find in level 4. In his Being and Time, Heidegger examines what it means to exist, focusing on human beings, das Sein, as entities aware of their own being. He argues that understanding existence requires confronting mortality and living authentically in the face of time and finitude. Pascal would be another thinker we would find in level 4, his existential views and his views on the self. He viewed human existence as a paradox, caught between greatness and wretchedness. With reason unable to solve life's deepest questions, he argued that true meaning comes only through faith in God, expressed in his famous wager, Pascal's wager, that belief is the most rational choice amid such uncertainty. Before we dive into level 5, the deepest level of philosophical thought, if you like the video and you want to see more great content like this, make sure you hit the like button, and obviously hitting that subscribe button is always a good help. Level 5. The metaphysical horizon. The theme of level 5 is the most abstract and mind-bending philosophical territory. Being, consciousness, the ultimate nature of everything. Level 5 is the point at which we begin connecting the dots. Not only do we have questions for metaphysics, ontology, epistemology, but now we're seeking an answer which unifies everything. Why is there something rather than nothing? Is consciousness fundamental or emergent? Could the universe be a simulation? What is the nature of existence itself? Thinkers and ideas that would fall into level 5 include Parmenides, who argued that reality is unchanging, it's eternal, and it's indivisible. Denying the existence of change, denying the existence of multiplicity, his metaphysical views laid the foundation for the idea that true being is timeless and can only be grasped through reason and not the senses. Spinoza taught that there is only one substance, monism, God or nature, and that everything in existence is a mode or expression of this single, infinite reality. He saw the universe as a unified, rational system governed by necessity, where understanding this order leads to peace and freedom. Leibniz proposed that reality is composed of countless individual units called monads, each reflecting the entire universe from its unique perspective. He argued that everything happens according to a pre-established harmony created by God, making this the best of all possible worlds. Modern panpsychism is the view that consciousness is a fundamental feature of the universe, present even at the smallest levels of matter. It suggests that all physical entities possess some form of subjective experience, challenging the divide between mind and matter to begin with. And then, of course, we have simulation theory. Simulation theory proposes that reality as we know it could be an artificial simulation, such as a highly advanced computer program created by an intelligent being or an intelligent civilization. It raises questions about consciousness, free will, and the nature of existence if our experiences are digitally generated rather than truly physical. So what level have you made it to? Maybe you've made it down to level 5, or maybe you've meandered around level 3. Either way, let me know what level of philosophy you have found yourself in, and let me know what other ideas you would add to the chart and which level you would add them at. I'm Adam, this is SonderHaus, and you have an awesome day.